What is up, fam? It is Shar, and welcome to Law and Live in Color, where I provide quick tips and experiences on the law school process and legal field as a person of color. So I'm back from my hiatus. If you have noticed, I haven't posted in, I think, a little bit over 2 months. And that is because I was in Chicago, partly in New York, but mostly in Chicago for the summer, doing a legal fellowship. So I was not really able to shoot. I left my camera in Atlanta, and I didn't like the quality of my phone, and I didn't have my mic. It was all just a hot mess. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to soak up the summer, and I'm going to get back to y'all as soon as I can, which was literally today. So to sum up my summer, I was a fellow for the summer for an organization called SEO, which is Seize Every Opportunity, not search engine optimization. So this is a nonprofit. And what this fellowship essentially was that you are placed in, if accepted into the fellowship, you are placed into big law for the summer, where you're getting real life exposure and you're treated as a summer associate, which was amazing. And this is all before law school. It was extremely selective, and I am blessed to have been able to have been chosen to participate in the process, and I had a great summer. So I opened a Q&A on my Instagram about my summer, essentially just open to questions about what it's like to be in big law for the summer, especially not having been in law school yet. So I will be answering those questions to the best of my ability, and I hope it is helpful information and it gives y'all some insight into how my summer actually was. First question is, did big law meet your expectations? And so I'm going to be referring to big law a lot in this video. And what that essentially means is just, a huge law firm, typically also specializing in corporate law, that is internationally recognized and just world renowned. They're known for representing huge corporations and entities, whether it be in litigation or transactional law or corporate law. I was under the assumption that big law was going to have a lot of stuck-up people, have a lot of uppity people, people's nose in the air, they're not really respecting you, especially as a Black woman entering big law. Trust me, I was nervous on my first day, mainly because of the stereotypes that I heard big law to be. I will say that the firm that I was with, I didn't feel a lot of that. Like, yes, you're very aware that there's not a lot of Black people in the legal field. I mean, you go to any big law firm, you're not going to really see Black people, honestly. So I was kind of surprised the amount of Black people I saw, but when I say that, please take that with a grain of salt. We're very underrepresented, and this firm that I was working for understands that, and more firms are understanding that as well. So they're doing a big push to have more minorities and people of color in the legal field and in their firms. But aside from that, I honestly didn't feel what people say big law is. But like I said, take that with a grain of salt. I was a summer, which means that I wasn't exposed to the type of rigor that being an associate, like attorney, would be. So that type of workload I wasn't privy to that. It was a very tiring summer in that I had to network a lot. I had to talk to people constantly, whether it be with events or in the office, getting coffee, having lunches. And it sounds great, and it was great. But if you're someone like me that's kind of introverted, it does drain your battery a little bit. So I was tired coming the end of the summer. I did do legal work, which was great. I did a lot of legal work that I haven't done before, which I feel like has given me a lot more exposure. I've used databases I haven't really used before. So it was amazing. I learned a lot. But as far as what I expected it to be, it honestly was not. It was actually very fun. I enjoyed my time. It was nothing from the sort of, oh my God, this is big law, this is intimidating. Like, once you're in there for a couple of days, you start to realize they're people. They're very, very smart people, but they're people. And you start to realize that, and you start to connect with them. And I loved the firm I was placed with. I had a great time. Where did you find your professional clothes? So if you follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, you may have seen that I posted videos about my outfits, essentially, of what my outfits were working in big law. And so I think I'm presuming that this question is related to that. I found most of my clothes via H&M, Zara, Banana Republic, and Klein. Some of my dresses were actually given to me by my former boss, which was very sweet of her. She hadn't ever worn the dresses, so she was like, I know that you need some professional dresses for what you're about to do. So here, she was amazing for that. So I greatly appreciate her. But yeah, the biggest thing I suggest, and this comes for like work bags as well. My work bag was actually a gift from my boyfriend, but you can find similar work bags to mine via like outlets or something like that. This is the bag for reference. It's a Coach bag. It's nice. It's solid black. What I really love about it is that it has a middle compartment for your laptop. But you can find bags like this or this bag via Coach outlets. Go to your outlet malls. They have Michael Kors, they have Coach, and you can go there and get work bags a lot cheaper than if you were to just actually go to the Coach store. The Coach outlet is the Coach store, but y'all know what I'm saying. Outlets are cheaper than if you were to go to the mall. You can also wear a tote bag. You could also wear a backpack. I prefer wearing a work bag as like a purse, but it's completely up to y'all. Men that are looking for work bags, Aldo is a great option. They have a lot of cool satchels that are great. If you're looking for a work bag on the low, I would definitely recommend going to the outlets, Aldo, DSW, TJ Maxx. Yeah, so I hope that helps. Was your hair ever a topic of conversation, and did you ever feel pressured to change it? So I have braids. When I started the summer, I had my short hair, and then I got braids in the middle, like literally in the middle of the summer. So I both had short hair and braids. I didn't feel any type of way, honestly. I really want y'all to take what I have to say with a grain of salt. Every firm is different. Every firm's culture is very different. The way you feel at one firm could be drastically different the way you feel at another firm. And that has a lot to do with the firm's culture and the people. And I will say at this firm, I did not feel pressured about my hair. I didn't feel like I felt left out because of my hair. I did get some questions that I feel like all of us have gotten, especially when we go from short hair to braids. It's jarring for some people. But I mean, I kind of expected that. I've gotten that in every single workplace. Like, oh, is that really your hair? Because you had short hair yesterday. Like, obviously, no, my hair didn't grow like this long overnight, right? But those kinds of questions are expected, and it's mainly out of ignorance. I don't think it's necessarily malintentioned. You kind of know when it's malintentioned. What are some of the benefits and positives of working in Big Law that you experienced? So I will say the networking is one. You meet a ton of people. I mean, just in the fellowship of itself, I met a lot of people that are starting this process like I am. So we have all very similar journeys, but at the same time, like, they're going to go do their thing and they're going to go be great. So you know that person. And then push forward to being in Big Law. Now you're meeting these amazing attorneys and recruiters, and now you have a connection with them and what practice areas they work in. And so I think that is a huge benefit. I mean, in this field, networking is a lot. Networking is a big part of who you know and how you get through certain doors in this field. Another benefit of working Big Law, especially before going into my 1L year, is having the context before school. So like when I was doing certain assignments, I knew what they were for. So like when I do certain assignments and I go to law school, it's going to all kind of like fit together. Like, oh, this is why we're learning this, because I've worked on this and I needed to know this. So it definitely gave a lot more context. So it's extremely beneficial, being that I haven't even attended law school yet. Well, I do in literally next week, hence why the change of scenery here. I'm not shooting at my desk because there's a ton of boxes over there and I still have more packing to do. I also have an understanding of what Big Law may be like, especially working at this particular firm. That is important. I kind of know now what to assess, like how the people are. And I do think this also has a lot to do with whether you have taken a gap year and have worked. So for my fellow people who have taken gap years, who are studying right now, but have been out of school for a minute and have been working, I do think the skills that you have been developing as you've been working are great, especially knowing what your work environment is. Like if you've come straight from college, you never really had a had a full-time job, it's hard to assess what work environment's best for you. But if you've been working for a minute, you know, like, oh, I know I can't work with this. I know I can work with that. So that I feel like that has helped me assess like what kind of firm I want, but then also understanding firm culture is what has allowed me to understand what firm I want in the future as well. Last question. How do I get SEO? Well, so the application process and everything about SEO will be in my description below, so you can learn more about it. As far as if you're asking me if there's a secret sauce, like if there's a secret recipe to getting it, I would say there is not. Put your best foot forward. Check your personal statement for spelling errors, grammatical errors, check your resumes, make sure you're following instructions on the application. It's little things like that that'll get you through the door. Make sure you're paying attention, make sure you're attentive, make sure you go to those webinars, like I said, participate, understand why SEO is SEO, where it comes from, what it has done. That will help you get SEO if that's really what you're interested in. If you're really interested in becoming an SEO fellow, those are my tips for you. If you like this video, you want to see more like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see some of the things that I've talked about, I post Q&As on my Instagram. I post stuff from Chicago on my Instagram, also on my TikTok. They should appear on the screen throughout this video. The links are also in the description below. So check those out if you want to see some of what that looks like. I'm so sorry, y'all, for the hiatus. Life got crazy and I really got caught up this summer, but I plan to catch y'all up. I plan to continue what I've been doing here, showing this purpose on my YouTube. I will show y'all the move out process and what that looks like moving to Durham. I know I've been gone for a little bit, but I am back and I'll make sure I stay that way. I know I've said that a couple times, but this hiatus was pretty drastic, so not one this crazy again. Peace, guys.